From Daily Forex, this is Chris Lewis. I'm looking at Bitcoin, and you can see that we rallied a bit on Monday as we came back. We could not break the top of the shooting star from Friday, though, and the $7,000 level looks to be offering resistance. Beyond that, if we can break 7,000, I think then we're looking at 7,500, and then, of course, the downtrend line that has been such a mainstay of this market. Low volume. Now, granted, these are weekend candles, so you would expect that. But Monday's low volume doesn't really give credence to a potential break to the upside, at least not quite yet. You can see that when I extrapolate the charts out further, that the downtrend line is still very much intact. Really, at this point, it still remains a sell the rallies type of situation. I get a lot of emails about Bitcoin. I get a lot of comments about Bitcoin. For me, I don't understand what the appeal of it is, so I can only go by the charts. And so for me, what do the charts tell me? Well, the charts tell me this. This descending triangle, which still needs to go out further, so we still could break down through this triangle, making it a very valid triangle. You would take the top to the bottom, and at this point that is about $6,000-ish. Well, a breakdown from 6,000 tells you you're going to at least 1,000, and part of that would come down to like where you would choose to call the top of the triangle. It is a bit messy over here, so you could even bring it down to here, or maybe here, or here. Either way, it looks like $1,000 or less. If this ends up being the total triangle that measures down, it's talking about $0. I don't know that we go to $0, but I think one of the biggest problems Bitcoin is going to have going forward is nobody uses it. I mean, I hear that, yes, these places take it, and yes, I use it, but it can't be used as money. If you're a merchant, you don't want to take something that's worth $20,000 and a couple months later is only worth 10. That cuts your profits in half. Nobody wants to hold on to something that's that volatile. It just doesn't serve the same utility. Beyond that, your Aunt Matilda down the street is going to trust a cryptocurrency if it's issued by a central bank. And I think that's coming. There are several smaller ones looking at it now. And you are sorely mistaken if you think that, for example, the Bahamas and Hungary issuing these things isn't being paid close attention to by the Federal Reserve. As soon as the Federal Reserve issues a cryptocurrency, the game's over. So I think really at this point, it comes down to that, because the general public will accept the Federal Reserve cryptocurrency. When most general public participants find out that cryptocurrency is something that's made up by somebody who nobody knows who is, that just undermines the whole idea. So at this point, I think it's a sell on the rally still. I just don't see the utility of it yet. Now, it is a tradable instrument, and that's an entirely different thing. Above, if we break this uptrend line at say 8,000, then, we could make a run towards 10,000. But right now, we're showing no proclivity to do that. Every rally gets a little bit less interesting. It gets a little less as far as acceleration. It just looks dead. Things could change, but we would need some type of major change. If you watch the pundits on the news, especially here in the States, CNBC, they go on and on and on about all these great things for Bitcoin and how Bitcoin is going to go higher because of this possible ETF, or there's more volume in the futures market, or this, that, and the other. The reality is Main Street doesn't even want it. So it is a great trading opportunity to the short side still. The one thing that can be said is, at least in the last year, you've made a killing selling this thing. I believe that we will eventually break down. Now, I could be wrong, and I'm perfectly willing to admit it over about 8,200. Then it looks like we're starting to go higher again. Again, though, I find it only a tradable instrument. It's not something that I want to hang on to forever.